guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso. I'm out here with all the dogs. I've got everybody except for Cashmere and Blondie. Both of them are in heat. What's wrong, girl? Gina. Come here. Come on, you guys. Let's go over to the shade. It's so dang hot out here. It's over 100 degrees. But I wanted you guys to see the pack. And I wanted them to get some outside time. You're a good girl, Velocity. You're working on it. Yeah, good girl. Yeah, I thought for sure that she would be in heat faster. I seem to remember that, but nope, not this time. Preacher, get over here, come on. Big old Batista. So earlier, I was filming, but I forgot to turn the microphone on. That's one of the really horrible things about... I have nightmare. I have nightmares about no audio. It's bad. But anyway, so Batista was in the pool, the water pool, and he was starting to get aggressive over it. He was starting to growl, and so what I did is I ran him off the water and just kind of moved his feet a bit. I pushed him around not pushed him physically, but I mean, I actually pursued him and made him move throughout the property to kind of make him understand that if he wants to enjoy getting to be outside and do what he wants, then he's going to have to be respectful and not be trying to take possession of a big pool of water. Having said that, it's not surprising to me with the females being in heat right now. The males, their hormones are gonna be boosted, and he's 9 months old. He's just getting to that point where he's really gonna start to feel himself and become more of a man. And so it's just something that happens. They will begin to exhibit behaviors of dominance, and what determines whether or not he will go back to having manners or not is how consistently I discipline him and redirect his behavior back to what it should be. So for every time that he tries to take possession of something, I actually show him that he will get the opposite of what he wants. So if he gets possessive over the water bowl, I push him off the water bowl. He doesn't get any water. And I may even, like for example, whenever he goes to the water bowl after that, I may then take possession of it and kind of run him off of it a bit, and teach him that, it's not his water bowl, it's my water bowl. And he only drinks out of that water bowl if I say he can drink out of that water bowl. And so that will be, that'll be the way that I will be handling that going forward, and anything he does it over. If he was chewing on this stick and when the dog walks up and they're like, oh, I'm gonna chew on that stick too, and he growls and tries to get an attitude, he'll get corrected for that, because that kind of behavior will lead to fighting in a pack like mine. So you just don't get to behave that way. Yeah, so it's gonna be, tenuous times, considering the fact that I have so many females that are going into heat right now. It's always the tough times. Back whenever I was breeding pit bulls, this is whenever I had my fights. Hopefully we don't have any, this time. Hopefully I'm able to monitor and ensure that everybody behaves themselves. But, we'll see what happens. So, what I would do, see, the thing is if I was staying here, I would have already built like a shed, like a side house that I could put my couple in, my pair, for breeding, but right now I don't. So it's more difficult for me to remove them from the equation and just work on the dogs that are around. And so anyway, I don't think that it'll be impossible. I'm much more mature now, as far as I'm a lot older, and with that I have a much better understanding of dogs than I did before. And so just like with anything in life, you get better. And so I made all my mistakes then, and now I can benefit from those mistakes by being more prepared and being ready to handle this kind of situation. So, for example, like whenever my females go into really heavy heat and the males start kind of freaking out a bit, Most likely I will put, Cashmere Preacher off in my room and just kind of leave them in there. And if any of the males start to get, like if Batista starts to get to where he can't really control himself, which can happen and it's not his fault, it's hormones, then he will be put in a kennel and just like a female that's in season until that has passed, which should only be about a week is how long that lasts, the worst part of the heat for a female. And so anyway, so once we do that, honestly, he should be a lot better. So so anyway, so that's kind of how I plan on handling it and kind of what's going on right now with the dogs. So because they are it's, I don't know if you've ever watched like wolf documentaries, but when the alpha female goes into season, so do the other females, and and the males, and everybody feels that urge. The hormones hit everybody. And so there's a lot of activity that goes on during that time, and when you have high energies and lots of activity, that's whenever you can have a lot of fighting and dominance displays. And so that's why it's really essential that I monitor the play levels, that I monitor everyone that is of age, like all my older males, and really make sure that they're all respecting each other whenever they're around each other, that there's no subliminal behaviors going on, like posturing or eyeballing. There's a lot of subliminal body language that goes on between competing males that is not seen by the average person, that will lead to fighting. And if you are able to see it, identify it, and redirect that energy and discipline quickly, then you can actually prevent a lot of discord. Now that does pardon me, anyway, that was not the right word. You can prevent a lot of possible issues like fighting or whatnot, not discord. So so having said that, I'm just going to make sure that I'm there, that I'm monitoring. Now that ability to prevent aggression is not going to extend to situations where I am not present. Okay, it will not. There's nothing that you can do to prevent aggression when you are not present. The dogs are going to work out their stuff if you're not there. And so that's why it's literally essential that you never, ever, 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 ever leave out 2 male dogs, or even 2 female dogs when you have dogs in heat. You really shouldn't do it. The odds that they will fight are very big. It's just the nature of who they are. It's the hormones. It's all of that. You're really setting them up for failure by allowing that situation to take place. So be a good owner, do the right thing. And if you have a female in season, never leave your males unsupervised together. And if you really don't think, basically for me, I know that if one of my dogs got an attitude and wanted to do something, if I asserted myself, they would back down. Like, I know that about my dogs. And that's why I feel comfortable having Preacher out with like Batista right now, right? Because I trust that when it comes down to it, they will listen to what I say. And that is the only reason that I even would allow them out like this. If I had, and it's another big reason I don't bring in older dogs. Like, I only bring in puppies that I raise for that specific reason, so that I have the level of control that I have. If I brought in an older dog, when it comes down to it, when it comes to breeding season, he doesn't care what I say. He's going to act. He's going to do what he knows is in his best interest. And that's why it is essential that you have that level of control, and that you not overestimate your ability, right? You should be underestimating your ability. If you overestimate, what you're going to end up doing is making a mistake, and it's going to possibly cost the life of one of your dogs. You don't know which one's going to win. So just keep that in mind. Don't try to take risks. Don't be lazy. Buy the kennel, do what you got to do to keep them separate. Like I do. I have kennels. These guys are not allowed out alone without me. And another thing that I do also with my males as a way of keeping on the way I do my pack is that oftentimes, especially for like advertising purposes, whenever I go out with my dogs, I take my males. So I will take all of my males together, and they have to ride together, they have to walk together, they're working together. Like, it helps them bond and be more comfortable around each other without there being a female there to compete over. You know what I mean? They're just sitting there, you know, being together, working together, walking together, all of that, being pet together. And so that goes a long way towards maintaining healthy relationships between my boys. Kind of like if they were a pride of lions and the males go out and they do patrol together, you know, and they're out there working together, and it's just about being, you know, a team. And I tried to instill that in my males when we are, and I don't do that whenever it's, like I said, when there's a serious breeding season. Whatever dog is going to do the breeding is with the female, but I will take the other males out, and we just work together and kind of get their brains off of it, and maintain kind of a brotherhood that I think is essential if you're going to have males together like this, the way that I do it. So anyway, it's hot. Preacher's miserable. He's angry at me. He's actually giving me like major angry faces right now. Like, woman, get off the dang phone. That's not my phone anymore, actually. It's my camera. But I had to redo this because I didn't have my microphone on. So yeah, so there you go. It's a rundown of what's going on and how I do things a little bit. So hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk at you later. Bye.